We're already live. Oh, we didn't have the intro.
Oh, the intro. Hey, y'all. We're the intro.
For the kaboom, the new reality kaboom, and there's no intro today. Hi, surprise!
Surprise.
That's it. Here we are. Not the good start, kids, are we not?
I'm not glitching. I'm just turning on my do not disturb, which I forgot to do because we're
really?
humans.
Yeah,
we're humans. This is
you were
live.
Miss Popularity, Miss Actor, without question. Oh my God!
What's funny is the notification that just came through was an alert from YouTube telling me the Hippie Chicks are live.
Guys, that's all good. Well, we're glad to be live and be here with you guys. I'm Kat Kazemi. I'm a certified clinical and transpersonal hypnotherapist, and I'm going to be dishing some fun stuff with my hippie chick sister.
I am Elle, the actor, worldwide. Too funny. Well, yeah, worldwide. I've won some international film awards.
Sure.
But happy to be here. I'm so glad Kat is ready to to kick it off and really create some fun stuff because I have nothing to offer.
That's right. Nothing to offer whatsoever.
Just kidding, y'all.
Right? Yeah, I think so. For sure. Well, you before we signed on, Elle, you look like I said, girl, you look like you're juggling like 1,000 things at the same time.
She could read it, y'all.
So you're not alone in that, my darling. I know there's a lot of people out there feeling that way. So you've got multiple things going on with just your life in general with the yes. Production coming. Your opening night is next Friday, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yep. We have our IDR, invited dress rehearsal, on Thursday. So technically it's Thursday, but opening night is Friday.
Okay. Let there be light. I forget. I always forget I have this ring light. Hi, here I am. So, although that's very exciting. And I'm coming on the 21st, right? And
yes.
All right. With Jackie. And I'm looking forward to this. This is looking like a really fun production. You guys, I know, are busting your tail getting ready.
Have you seen the advertisements?
Yes,
they're hilarious.
Terrific. They absolutely look terrific. Super duper excited about this. So I was going through my little witchy cabinet that I have down here. One day I'll see if we can't finagle something to where we could maybe do a little show and tell here online.
Yeah.
And go through my beautiful cabinet. It's an antique cabinet. It's well over 100 years old, and I have it filled with all kinds of very groovy stuff. But one thing in particular that I wanted to show you, Elle, because I'm so very, very proud of it, and it's very special to me, but I wanted to show you my beaver.
So glad you held that up at the same time.
Wanted to show you my beaver. Aww. I made this in the 3rd grade. Isn't it adorable?
Wow.
Now her tail is a little ragged because she's old, but you know what? That's okay. She still knows how to handle that wood, right?
You told me you were going to make me laugh. Yes.
And here she is for everyone to see.
Oh. Now, does your beaver have a name?
Well, I'm not calling her Becky, that's for sure. Becky the beaver. I don't know. Let's see if we have an audience. Give my beaver a name.
I know people don't know what to expect. They just don't know. It might be anything.
If Ivy were here, I'm sure he'd have a good name.
Yes.
Who knows where he's at? So. I thought of that when I was doing our little blurb, and I always put sometimes mildly inappropriate. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna take advantage of that opportunity.
We get to be inappropriate. We get to be that. So that's a good thing.
Yes, we do.
It's all about balance.
No, it really is. And I'm finding myself just wanting to find reasons to laugh. I mean, literally laugh. I feel like there's just been so much crying and heaviness going on. I want to lift my vibration. So, I'm looking for reasons, and it's definitely reprogramming my brain. I could get the news without doom scrolling,
Right.
and get informed, but not plug into that, not get the algorithm all up in my shit. So and now I'm just like thinking I'll be cleaning or making dinner or something like that, and something funny will pop in my head, and I'll be like laughing so hard I got tears coming down my face.
Yeah.
I'm almost gonna pee myself. Like the other day I got hooked on the word nincompoop because I'm like, okay, what's the origin of that? But it hit my funny bone because I kept going, well, what kind of poop is that? Well, it's nincompoop. And it's lost its sparkle for me now, but there was like 3 or 4 times where I couldn't even breathe. I was laughing so hard. But that's a good thing. That's how we're anchoring light on the planet.
Yes.
Is keeping it light. Like
when I worked at the Q, my word was shenanigans, and I know that's so silly, but it just was.
Well, if you're gonna shenan once, you're gonna shenan again.
Shenanigans, right? That's right. Oh my goodness! And people used to crack up laughing because I wasn't a meanie at work. I was just really about my business. I was just, and I didn't.
You were scary, weren't you? Were you scary?
I was a scary boss lady, but I wasn't scary to my team. My team will tell you that I was.
They adored you, I'm sure.
Yeah, I had expectations. I communicated those expectations when they met them. I rewarded them. I mean, and they met them or exceeded them all the time. I had great teams, but sometimes my peers were less than stellar, and I did not appreciate that. I had a major problem with that, and I was pretty vocal about it. So I was that person. And I would call the BS that they would do, I would call it shenanigans because I couldn't call it bullshit at work.
Right. Well, that's a professional way of putting it. Yeah.
Yeah. My team would crack up. They just thought it was the funniest thing that I was always saying shenanigans.
Well, yeah, if it would have been a lot more colorful if you were allowed to say what you really wanted to say.
Exactly. So. Quit the bullshit, people.
It doesn't that whole era seems like forever ago now, doesn't it?
It does. And not too long ago I had to rewrite my bio that I send out for auditions and such. Ooh. And I did my bio for the show. Right, Kat? You were right there. Listen, I could not believe how corporate centered my bio was. Here's a bio of me trying to get an acting job, and all it talked about heavily was my corporate experience. I think I felt like when I first started acting full time, I think I might have been a little ashamed because people weren't all that receptive. They're like, what the hell are you doing? So I think I bought into that. And so I was trying to make an excuse for why I was acting. Like, what? So
yeah, and we buy into the idea that being corporate is, you're somebody.
Right.
And if you're not, then you're just you're schlub doing a hobby.
Yeah, right. And oh man, and I hate that that my psyche that I allowed my psyche to buy into that. So thanks to Kat, I revamped my whole bio.
Yeah, because it didn't sound like you at all. It didn't feel like you at all.
Right.
It's really weird. Just when was it? Yesterday, I went into Google Photos. I wanted to see how far back they went. So I'm like 20 years back, and I went to 2006, and I found my headshot for when I worked at Countrywide Mortgage.
Wow.
I almost posted it on Facebook. I might do it next week. I'm like,
yeah, you should bring it here and show it on the show.
I should. Yeah. And this was even before I got certified as a hypnotherapist. It's before I even went to hypnosis to stop smoking. So It was like right at almost the very end of like that huge transformation for me. And I love the picture. I'm like, oh, look, it's Kathy Kane, and Kathy Kane is dead now. So, I gotta.
It was a lifetime ago, literally.
Yes.
Almost literally. Yeah.
Yeah. It was 20 years ago. Yeah. So yeah, crazy. So yeah, maybe I will bring it out. But everything she went through is brought me to this point right now. So I appreciate her wherewithal and her ability, because you know what, that woman, when she first became a mortgage banker, and this is in alignment with kind of all the I know it's kind of buzzed down or died down a little bit, all the hubbub about it, but all that bullshit about the men's hockey team making that unsavory locker room joke, and
Right.
and I'm like, that kind of bullshit does happen all the freaking time, and you just got to really understand that when I first became a mortgage banker, I worked for a company called Central Money Mortgage. They're no longer in business. They sold 25 years ago, whatever. And that's a whole other different story. But when I first became a mortgage banker there, I think they had a sales team of about 8 or 9 guys, right? So all guys. So when I'm in the boardroom with 9 guys, sales officers, the manager, the ops manager, the VP, and the president, all men. I'm the only female, and my boss goes, "Hey guys, I just want to announce that we promoted Kathy to the senior sales staff. I wanted to put her out on the street and see what she could do." And all the guys went,
wow, they get in trouble for that these days. 20
yeah,
years ago, they could get away with that, but they would have gotten in trouble.
yeah. That's some bullshit.
Yeah.
Right? I just kind of had to do that.
Wow.
I couldn't.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
And I wouldn't have done that then, because my self-esteem was way in the toity, and there's no way I would have the guts to do that. But now I would have been like, what the fuck is that?
Exactly. Right. I need you to change your words. You're going to have to choose better words. I'm not going
Thank you. Do better,
street.
Please. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was unfortunate about what happened with the men's hockey team. I feel like they were roped into it a little bit. They had a little bit of a reprieve with Saturday Night Live. Connor Story hosted. And Connor Story is from Heated Rivalry. He plays a hockey player in Heated Rivalry. And so he had the men's, 2 of the men's hockey team members come out. And then later into the monologue, the women came out. It was like just a couple of minutes after the men came out. And they kind of did a little tongue-in-cheek thing. And the guys were very supportive of the women, I felt like. And I feel like they have been supportive of the women. I just feel like they were roped into an unfortunate situation in many cases.
It was a good learning moment for everybody.
Yeah.
How easy it is to get it. Just that's the norm up until now. And
and there was laughing. People, so I don't want people coming for me because no, some of them laughed. Yeah, they did, and they probably shouldn't have. And I think in hindsight, they realized they shouldn't have.
Yeah,
and I think it was nervous laughter for the most part. I mean, it may not have been. I could be completely wrong, but again, going back to your story, when the guy said, I'm going to put her out on the street, see what she can do. That laughter, you know what I'm saying? It's just like you laughed politely back, and that's what we did. Because unfortunately our lifetime, up until probably the most recent generations, we had a very rapey culture. I hate to say, but we did, and it was accepted. And now things like that are being brought to light, and I'm very glad about that. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Do we have anyone joining us today?
Nobody has popped in as of yet. I think we may have some people just tuning in, but
cool.
not want to participate. But that's okay. No worries. We invite you if you just want to have us in the background. We're just chitty chatting, and fun things pop up, and you never know what we're gonna be talking about. So let me see what the heck is new in my life? Well, what is new in my life? I'm getting a lot of past life regressions right now.
Really?
Which I find really interesting. I'm thinking, I feel like people are really feeling like a shift happening, energetically speaking. So people are wanting to tap into, really what's going on with them. People are kind of feeling like there's more to it. You know what I'm saying? There's more to this life than what I've been led to believe. And
Right.
so they're wanting to explore these realms. And sometimes it's not always the answer to do a past life regression, because sometimes people have a hard time allowing that to happen, right?
Right.
And they doubt it because it feels like you're just making this shit up. But if you allow it, you just kind of let the story happen, then it becomes more um cohesive, and it feels more legitimate. But
Yeah.
if you're going in with this certain expectation and that doesn't happen, then you're going to doubt everything.
Right.
So, so sometimes I'll do this process called ultra height, which is taking them into the quantum field, and we're getting a cellular healing on all levels, and it's behind the scenes, and it's something you can do to get rid of all of that emotional, energetic debris that they're wanting to use the past life regression to clear out. But if you can't do it that way, then you can use the ultra height to do that, because I'm a firm believer that when you take your trash out to the curb, you don't undo the twist tie and stick your face in the bag,
Right.
right? You don't
Right.
keep it
Love
out
that
and rub it
analogy.
all over yourself. You take it out to the curb and the nice guys take it away, right? You don't
Right.
even have to watch them do that. So sometimes it's not necessary to understand, what happened in the past life that you're bringing forward into this life, kind of thing, in order to clear it out, So I'm getting a lot of people need to do that.
That is good. Okay. And when do people come and ask for that? I know you advertise that you do that. So do people
Mhm.
come specifically? That is awesome.
Yeah, they do. They do. Yeah, and it comes in waves. Now it's between past life regression or ultra height and people wanting to quit smoking because their New Year's resolution, here it is beginning of March, and their New Year's resolutions, whatever methods they were trying to use wasn't
Yeah.
working. And so
Gotcha.
I,
Yes.
I'm Obi-Wan Kenobi, your only hope. I'm the last hope. Well, I tried everything else. Here I am.
Right. Here I am. There you go. Yeah. And with your past life regression sessions, generally speaking, how many sessions do you do, or does it take a certain number of sessions to move through that?
Well, if they're well versed in hypnosis, we can have an experience in that first session. But most people come to me haven't had a professional experience before, so
Right.
I'll sign them up for either a 2 or 3 session package. And that first session is they're going to get educated first,
Gotcha.
and then
Good. Okay.
have their first hypnosis experience so they can understand what it feels like to be in that state. All right, get the
Right.
mystery out of the way, take the woo woo out of it. All right. And so once they have that first experience, when they come back for the second one, they trust the process. We've built rapport, and
Right.
and
Hmm.
and they know what to expect. So they'll let themselves go in a trance faster and deeper, and then they can have that experience.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
And what, and not, of course, not divulging any specific things, but what
Uh,
types of things are you able to say? What types of things people discover through that experience?
well, I had a client once. This was years ago. She she was actually coming to me for other things, but I let my clients use their sessions for whatever they want to. Just because you come to me for smoking cessation and you have extra sessions in your package, you could use it for other stuff. So
Right.
one of her sessions, she came to me. She's like, Kathy, I just went for a hike with my husband at Great Falls, and we came across a black snake, and I'm like, yeah, okay, big deal, because a
Hmm.
black snake's not a big deal, right? It's not a
Right.
poison snake. It's not going to attack
Right.
you. It's just
Yeah.
the black meatloaf in the path.
Right.
So and she said she lost it, completely lost it. She became debilitated. She just buckled up right there. Her husband basically had to pick her up and carry her past the snake.
Whoa. What? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
And so she's like, I got to do something about that. That I can't believe that happened. She was embarrassed in front of her husband because she acted the way she did, and of course he's going to
Yeah.
be there for her. But she's like, I don't want that to happen ever again. So we did a past life regression. She was open to it, and her regression was very strong. And I always give people the option of either just witnessing it or actually feeling like you're back there again, you're experiencing it.
Mm-hmm.
So you can either be, right up in it or detached from it. And she chose to be right up in it. I also give them the option of whether or not they want to experience the death experience of that lifetime or not.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's very
Okay.
powerful. So her regression took her back to some medieval times, um, where she was a handmaiden. She was, I want to say, late teen. She said she was, and at this point, she's able to describe everything. I'm asking, like, look down at your feet. What are you wearing? What kind of clothes? Well, how old are you? Do you know your name? All that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So she was able to answer all that stuff, and she was having a very clear experience. And then we took her past all the mundane stuff, and I said, take let's go to the point in this lifetime that is the most pertinent for the reason why you're having this experience
Mm-hmm.
with reptiles. So she turns out that she was always going to be handmaiden. She was just kind of like a peasant, and she wasn't going to get anything go beyond that post, right?
Okay.
So in this particular time, I guess it was the Spanish Inquisition type of thing where they were forcing everybody to believe in a certain way, and she was refusing to do so. So of course she was made an example of, and they jailed her and they tortured her and did all kinds of crappy things to her. And then she had the experience of being walked up to the chopping block, basically, because they were going to execute her, and she remembers distinctly, and her voice even changed, and she's like, and the executioner's talking to me, and she's like, he said to me, if you have any money, I'll sharpen the blade. If not, oh well, that kind of
Oh,
thing. And she's like,
wow.
and she started crying. She had an reaction right there in the chair, and she's like, I don't have any money. And I'm like this close to like kind of pulling her out of it because she's like really experiencing this thing. And she's up on the chopping block, and she said it took him 7 times to chop her head off. And
Whoa.
and the minute that
Oh.
her spirit released from that body, she started laughing, and she understood exactly why she was so scared of snakes. It's because the whole time they were torturing her, they kept calling her the serpent queen. She dances with the serpent, all this, devil, serpent, snake stuff.
Oh,
And they
man.
accused her of that. And the minute that that she realized that, it released her from her fear of snakes in that moment. She's like, yeah, I have no problem. Yeah, it was amazing.
Wow.
Amazing. Yeah, and I followed up with her as well to make sure that, that was really the case, and she's like, "I have 0 problem with it." It completely
Yeah.
released her from that whole trauma, and it's
Right.
incredible how to
Yeah.
bring that shit forward. A lot of people, I think a lot of the people that have, like, a deathly, fear of public speaking were
Mm-hmm.
probably, put to death because of speaking out.
That's a good point. Yeah. Oh my
They were
gosh.
either beheaded or burned or hung,
And
right?
that was
They
kind of a regular thing. You could not go against the grain,
Yeah,
much like now in some ways. But yeah,
yeah,
wow, interesting. I,
yeah,
I
but
asked that because I've had some thoughts about past life regression, so I'll
mhm,
probably be getting with you to kind of talk about that, see what we can
sure.
do. That is mind blowing. I didn't have any real concept of what that included, so that's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, and you could use it for a lot of different things. I mean, she wanted to heal, a trauma that she carried forward, but you can also, explore, the gifts that you've been cultivating through over lifetimes, because we do have
Mm,
patterns, and we do have learn things, and we bring that experience forward. I mean, this is
that's
what
true.
everyone's like, "We don't know what we're here for." Yeah, we were here to have the experience,
Right. And when we
right?
have those innate gifts that we don't know where they came from, that it's seemingly no
Yeah,
one taught us how to do, it's like, that it makes perfect sense. And
yeah,
I find
absolutely.
it interesting that people would decide not to believe it. And no judgment against anyone, but I guess if you've not had this experience, you don't know what took place in past lifetimes, right? So why would you refute something that you're really bringing to the forefront? yourself, because the person really is in control in your sessions. They're
Mm-hmm.
bringing this. So it's interesting that people would not accept it, I guess.
Because we
I don't.
have a deep ingrained conditioning to doubt ourselves, because what's in our head isn't real.
Wow. Wow.
Like,
Yep. It's all in your head.
it's
Right.
all in your head, Linda. It's not real.
That's right.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
my anxiety disorder caused me not to walk for 7 weeks, but it was all in my head. Yeah. That's still physical. It's a chemical imbalance that created a physical problem. So yeah, that is interesting how we're programmed that way. Wow.
Oh, right. Yeah. And that's just one program.
Right. Exactly.
Just one. We got a laundry list. Yeah, like the program of I'm not enough.
Oh,
that's a big one. And that causes, perfectly wonderful people to do horrible things to themselves.
It does.
And other people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That concept of hurt people, that's
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Absolutely. And that gets weaponized, and it keeps us all discombobulated and so focused on stupid shit that we don't really realize what's happening. But I think more and more people are waking up to us, to what's really going on. Mm-hmm. And we're seeing the last desperate attempt. But things are yes, you can tell that things are definitely shifting. It's crumbling, and it is a brace yourself. But I also think, even though the circus that's center stage right now is going to take a back burner about what's getting ready to come down the pike.
So you think even bigger things? Because a couple weeks ago, we were just chit-chatting, sitting around having drinks, and you were talking about something big and monumental coming. And then when the war broke out, I was like, whoa.
That's not it. That's a distraction. Gotcha. It's an unfortunate distraction, because there is no reverence for life, clearly. But no, I'm talking about not a man-made thing. This is Mother Nature saying enough of this bullshit.
Gotcha.
And she's ascending as well, so she's stretching her boundaries and shifting some things, and we're here for the ride. So if you've been paying attention, or if you've been noticing, there have been these oar fishes, which they're also known as ribbon fish. Okay, so they're huge. They look like ribbons, and they live in the super duper deep. And the only thing that brings them up, just like the anglerfish, is disturbances, on the ocean floor. And 3 in the last week have been beached. And one in Japan, the other 2 in Cabo San Lucas or something like that. So something get ready to come down the pike, kids. So buckle up. Just want to forewarning out there. But we just gotta keep it together, right?
Yeah, we do, and be prepared.
You gotta be prepared. Be prepared. So, but we got a minute and a half or so left. So we're. Anything else new you want to pop in there before we sign off?
Well, my show opens next Friday the 13th. So Kat is going to be rolling with y'all solo, unless she has a couple of guests. She may have guests on. Her sister may join. That would be great if Laurie could join. So because I will be headed to the theater every Friday, Saturday.
Yeah. So there's no sense in her stressing out. So you won't see Elle until a month from now.
Yes. Yeah, I appreciate you, girl. Thank you so much. But yeah,
Absolutely.
That's what I have going on. And I have an audition self-tape for a film coming up.
Woo!
So that I just got notice of today. So yay.
Congrats for that, my love. All right, dear. Well, listen, kids, have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. Keep your seatbelt on, and if by the grace of God, we'll see you next Friday.
Yes, we will. Well, I won't.
You'll see me. So peace and love. We'll see you guys next. I'll see you guys next week. No, you'll see me, right? And you know what? We could take it all the way to the end because there's no closer on
Oh
this.
yeah, that's we assume. Yeah,
They
that's
don't
right.
have to have that extra time, so we could just, sit here and annoy you guys for just another.
You can show your beaver again if you
take one last look at my beaver. Thank you very much. All right, kids. See you next week.